So now we're going to go ahead and cover one Fight Night 8 Superlek Kemuka, because I pronounced it correctly, versus Danial Williams. Oh, look at the background changed and everything.
Oh, that's what we do, man. It's a top-notch production here. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So Superlek versus Danial Williams. Danial Williams was originally supposed to fight earlier on this card. Superlek was supposed to fight Rodtang. And then on Tuesday, they're like, hey, Rodtang's back is fucked. He has to pull out of the fight. Danial Williams is stepping in on, 3 days notice to fight Superlek in the main event for the kickboxing title.
Nuts, man.
I mean, balls of steel. Danial Williams is a savage because Superlek is one of the best strikers in the world. I mean, I know people say that with like HLB Comer says, "Are we talking about the Narnia fights again? You mean the better fights?" Let's be real. Let's be real, dude. Superlek, he's so goddamn good. He's so good. Like when have you seen someone strike like him? You know what I mean?
Man, he's fantastic. Now,
It's
when we're calling
terrifying.
out Danial Williams, I also want to give was it Hui Botelho some props too, because they just pulled Danial Williams in that fight and gave somebody else to Hui Botelho as well, which ended up turning into an L, if I remember correctly, for him.
Yeah.
So rough for both Williams and Botelho that both swapped opponents in a few days' notice and both lost. But a little better for Danial Williams in the sense that, like, look, dude, you lost, but you put on a good fight.
Yeah.
Superlek is just on a whole nother level. Okay,
dude, it's not even like it's crazy.
The thing that I wrote down about Superlek in my notes, like, yes, his kicks are insane. I get it. He's a great striker, yes. But the thing is, you see a lot of other great strikers, and they'll throw setup shots to throw a kick or a punch to try to take out their opponent. Everything Superlek throws is to try to take out his opponent.
Yeah.
If it's a kick to the thigh, he's trying to break your bones.
Like
every single kick. Every single time he goes to the body, he's trying to break your ribs. It's insane, man. Everything he throws is with the worst intent. And I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Dude, it's like, look, there's a lot of people out there who are like, they want this type of stuff, right? They want like the vicious type of striking, right? But then they don't watch it. And they're like, they complain about fights going to the ground. They complain about this. And it's like, well, Muay Thai and kickboxing exists. And like you said, there's a lot of really good strikers like Adesanya, right? Where like Israel Adesanya is a fantastic striker, like elite striker. But he's also the type to like pick and choose his moments. He's setting traps. He's doing this, which is very cool, very technical, very fun to watch. It's interesting.
And he also has to worry about the Jan Blachowicz of the world trying to take him down, so it prevents him from doing some of the things he probably wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's guys like Superlek, which is like a striking fan's like wet dream. You know what I mean? Because like you said, everything has bad intentions. And not only because sometimes it's like, oh, this guy's got bad intentions on everything, but they're like big looping shots. You know what I mean? Like Justin Gaethje is very good, and he's got bad intentions on everything, but he's laboring with his big punches, right? Not Superlek. He's got bad intentions and they're quick. They are so quick. I mean, he was lighting up like.
Congrats, Romero, for being part of the best. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, I mean, this fight, Danial Williams is tough as nails, and he looked pretty good in there. He's got a ton of heart. He's got a ton of grit. But the combos that Superlek was landing that eventually put him away were just like, it was like, I was like fucking like in awe of like what he was able to do. He's so good. The high kicks, the punches that finished it are just nuts.
Yeah. So
my favorite Superlek comp.
I stopped putting notes down because I said something is bound to land with the high volume of shots, power shots. That's Superlek's throwing. And then after that, I stopped putting down notes because he landed a power shot. Got Williams dizzy. What was it? The head kick?
Yeah, the head kick. Yeah.
Comes in with that flying knee, gets him up against the cage, lands Toasty, lands those hooks. Dude, it was just a masterful performance.
Dude, the shots that eventually ended the fight up on the fence were so gnarly. And like the walk off, like they called the fight. It was like gonna get called while it was still like a standing TKO kind of. But then that last shot completely put Daniel out. and he just walks away as he falls. And I was like, fuck, that's crazy. That was so gnarly.
So sick. And can I say how awesome it is that while they're doing their post-fight interview, that he's like, hey, by the way, Chatri's giving you $50,000. So you get to see their reaction like right then and there. I'm like, oh, that's so sick.
And the fact that it's not just like 3 per event, like it's just if the fight deserved it, it just gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
way
so
better.
good, man. So good. I love it.
Great fight. Great.
That's all I got for that one.
It kind of sucks. Superlek versus Rodtang. I think the Superlek that showed up on Friday probably beats Rodtang.
You think so?
I think so. And I love Rodtang, but Superlek is fucking so good. He's so good.
Rodtang, get him on. Come on, bro.
Oh,
dude, I'm learning. All right. Next up, we had Rodrigues versus Todd. Oh, look at that picture, by the way. Hold on. Before we go, dude, I can't get enough of the gold confetti. I don't know what it is. The dramatic music, the gold confetti falling. There it is right there, dude. You know, the fighters holding up the belt, the angles from the cameraman, you name it, dude.
Yeah.
The last shots of the main events for one are some of the best. You know I love the drama.
Oh, dude, let's be
the
real.
entertainment.
If we're talking about this, how about when Dom Lau is doing the announcement of the fight and the lights go out and it's just like all the spotlights on Dom Lau in the center of the circle and it's all dark everywhere.
Good.
Come on.
So good, bro. I love it.
It is next level, man. Also, shout out Cyrus. Shout out Cyrus for all the pictures and stuff. Really hooked it up.
Hey, Cyrus, for sure, dude. Can I say how much easier it was to set this up with the pictures and everything this morning? Oh, my God. Yeah. All right. Rodrigues versus Todd. Rodrigues.
The Dragons. Love the Dragons. Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Janet Todd. How old is she? Like 37?
I don't know.
She's a legend.
But she comes in the interim champ, right?
Interim champ. Yeah, because Allycia was just out. She just had a baby.
Here we go. We had teased earlier that we're going to talk about somebody that had just had a baby as well that's doing the damn thing still. So let's go into the fight here. What were your thoughts on the fight?
Okay, so first off, walkout's incredible. Janet Todd walks out to Brittany. She's dancing. Super sick. Rodrigues comes out. So some like fucking stone cold killer shit. Just fucking blank stare. Just like 1,000-yard stare.
Terrifying.
She's trying to unify this belt. She's like, I'm the champ.
God.
You're just the interim champ. Janet Todd, all smiles in the cage, cuts over to Rodrigues, death stare. And I was like, this is going to be so good. First round, Janet Todd comes out. She's picking her apart, landing the kicks, landing the low kicks really well, the body kicks. She's jabbing her as she comes in. Rodrigues is walking forward the whole time, but Janet Todd is just picking her apart. First round, Janet Todd. Second round, pretty much the exact same thing. But at the end of the second round, Rodrigues started touching her up a little bit, found the range with the hands. And I was like, I said it in the Discord chat. I was like, she started landing. She found her range in that she lost that round, but she found her range. And then that third round started and Rodrigues just came at her and she started cracking her. And I was like, oh God, this is why she's the champ. This is why she's the champ. And then from there, it was a very close fight, and very technical, but Rodrigues just, I think, landed with more impact. But I mean, it was a very good fight, really high level. It was
so entertaining, man. And again, to see Rodrigues, who just had a baby,
it's crazy,
looks in fantastic shape.
Yeah,
her output was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
She's mechanically sound, dude.
Yeah,
with everything she throws. And the thing that I love too, I picked up on this little thing that she was doing. Because, you know, when you're an Orthodox and some people like to do that little switch, kick to throw a harder kick, right? Mm-hmm. So she'd do that little switch.
Yeah.
Yes. She'd do a little switch and come in with the right, left, and then end up in Orthodox defensive stance again. And I said, that is so beautiful, man. And she landed that late first round and some into the second round before Todd started catching on a little bit. But that was so nice, man, to see that, dude. Like her footwork and the way she would just end up again was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I think what's crazy is I think she was out for 15 months, Rodrigues, 15 months. And in that time frame, Janet Todd, I think, fought 3 times. And the fact that she was able to, I mean, she kind of took the first round off a little bit, but that's also not that uncommon in Muay Thai. But the fact that she was able to then turn it up in the third, and she, in my opinion, she took the last 3 rounds. I thought the fourth was very close, could have gone either way, and that was like the deciding round. But the fact that she was able to sweep the last 3 rounds in a title fight after 15 months off against someone who has been not just someone, dude. Janet Todd is legit. She's
Yeah.
active. She might be 37, but she doesn't look 37. I mean,
Yeah.
she did not fight like someone who's way past their prime. You know what I mean? She looked very good in there. This was a great fight. And yeah, Keith's talking about the belt on Rodrigues' shoulder is absolutely hilarious because it's gigantic.
This is something else I text Will about, Keith, while I was watching the fights. Is like that belt is beautiful.
It's so
It's such a
good.
nice belt, man. And then they have it in that lit up Toomey box. And they
Yeah,
have it sitting. So like you'll see them fighting, and in the background, you just
it's
see the lit up
glowing.
box, and then oh my god,
Yeah,
it's awesome, man. It's
so
awesome.
cool.
All right.
Yeah,
Next
move on.
up, Seo Hee Ham versus Itsuki Hirata.
Yeah. So this was the one that had like bad blood, and it's not that often that it's not so often that one has like drama between their fights, right? Every once in a while they will. Rodtang and Superlek kind of have some drama, but yeah, Itsuki Hirata, she missed weight their last fight. She's had issues with weight in the past. She missed weight or failed the hydration test or something like that, and they had to cancel the fight. Seo Hee, she's like the nicest person in the world. But there was drama here, and it was funny when they show the weigh-ins and Hirata makes weight. It cuts over to Ham, and she's like, and she's like smiling, and then they like meet real quick, and she's like, "Thank you so much." And it's like, "Thank you so much." Such a funny reaction to somebody who just
Yes.
making weight, you know. But
Yes.
lots of bad blood in this fight. But let's be real, Ham is on another level. Hirata's just not on that
Another
level.
level. Absolutely.
She's
Yeah.
just not. She's got two things she comes in with, and she's had success with in the past. And she's an entertaining fighter. She has a powerful overhand right, a really powerful overhand right that she ducks and then throws it, and it's perfect because she also has the same entry with her takedowns, right? So you don't know, is the overhand right coming or is this a takedown? But if you're elite, like Ham is, you can see it a mile away, and you can just consistently defend against it. She looked great.
Yes. But it's part of the problem that I think too for Hirata though was so the first round there was a lot of feints. A lot of
Yeah.
feints. And we know that if you have a lot of feints, but at no point in time you throw actual strikes,
Do you commit?
then
Yeah.
it takes away from the feints.
Feints mean less if you never go.
Yes. And so what ended up happening is she would feint, and she
Mhm.
would never go. So she wasn't setting up the takedown at all. So she
Yeah,
would
so she's
feint,
reaching for it.
and she would reach and she would shoot from far away. And Ham's like, nah, like,
Yeah.
I know this is what you're going to do. So it seemed like it was
Yeah.
very easy for Ham throughout the night. I would have loved to see Hirata let her hands go a lot more
Mhm.
before she'd actually go for a takedown.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. And I mean, Ham is good. She's very good. She fought in the UFC for a bit. But she's now 3-0 in one. She hasn't lost since 2017.
And also, dude, can we talk about the knees to the downed opponents?
Oh, so
Because
good.
which fight was it on in UFC that I was watching last night? I don't remember, but I just remember one of the fighters getting in like an awkward position, hand down on the canvas, and it was just like the fighter that's on top's like, okay, well, let me turn my wheels a little bit and see how it is that I could try to
do some
still get
damage.
this takedown.
Yeah.
Where in this fight here, you have Hirata, who in the process of trying to like stand back up, she puts her hand down on the canvas, not to try to buy time, but to try to post and get up. And just in that short time, knee, right to the head.
Yeah.
So it makes her react and try to get up faster because if you're down there at any point in time, you could still catch a knee straight to the forehead and you can't buy time. You have to react faster. You can't accept any down position like that.
There's no lulls in it. There's no break in the fight. You know what I mean? The fight just continues. And how about we got a yellow card in this fight, right?
I was going to say that I think this is my first time watching one where I actually saw a yellow card be issued.
Love it.
That was from Herb Dean.
See it. Yeah, and Herb Dean's usually really slow on the draw with the yellow cards. I think it's tough to kind of switch gears. You know what I mean? Go from UFC to one and like enforce the different rules. And it was funny when he's like reaching in his pocket for. They're like, Herb Dean's reaching in his back pocket. Never good when Herb Dean reaches in his pocket. It's like, what?
He didn't even know what back pocket it was in. That's how often he doesn't do it, dude.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, Ham is just so good. I hope she gets a title shot next. I think they're talking about having her fight for the interim belt because Lee's obviously still out dealing with like family stuff. But Yeah, she deserves it.
Keith saying I actually expected more from Hirata. And you know what, Keith? This was my first time watching Hirata, but from what I had heard and what I had read on her going in, I expected more as well. So I can only imagine how let down you were, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Akbar Abdullaev versus
Abdullaev.
Hotako.
Hotek O. Yeah, this fight. Yeah, so Abdullaev. Going into this one,
Abdullaev.
Akbar 8-0, all finishes. Pretty cool. Hotek O going back into this one, I think it was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak. Only 2 of them were decision. The rest were finishes. So this one was going to be a banger, guaranteed. And Akbar just goes out and lands an uppercut from the depths of hell. I mean, he reached down. he like reached all the way down, picked up some more power, and then just fucking cracked Hotek.
Ryu style, dude.
Yeah.
Ryu style, you know?
Street
Fighter
it was
for Rich, the producer.
It was nasty, man. It was nasty. Just right under the arm, too. Just slipped it right in there, cracks him, and then just does not give him a chance to recover.
But the way he set it up too, you know, like because he's like he had like head movement where he like bobs, and then Hoteko comes in and he steps back and then he comes forward with the uppercut again. I was like, oh my god, that was sweet,
dude. 9-0 now with another finish, another first round knockout. I mean, this was what 40 seconds, 45 seconds, 44 seconds. Comes out there and just uppercuts the hell out of somebody. And Hotek, like I said, was on a massive win streak himself. Like, this is not like he just beat some slouch, you know?
Hey, coming out party for Abdullaev?
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Rich, by the way, in the chat says, no time for Romero's dad to go grab a beer because they're rolling around again. Yeah, so for anybody that's newer to the podcast, my dad, back in the day, we used to watch UFC together. And as soon as the ground game would start, he'd be like, time for me to go grab a beer. I'm like, no, this is the good stuff too, you know? But if he was watching ONE FC with me, then I'd be like, you're going to miss out on some gnarly
Just
moves.
wait.
Just wait. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Keith says, I do like the yellow
yeah.
cards. If you get a yellow card, you lose 20% of your purse as well. Is it 20 or 10?
I think it's 10. I could be wrong, though. I think it's 10. But
okay.
Regardless, it's a good incentive to not stall. And you guess what? You end up with better fights. Who would have thought?
Crazy, right? Crazy. All right.
Who would have thought?
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
We have
Peimian.
Zhang. How do you pronounce it? Peimian?
Peimian.
Yeah.
And Zhang's the last name, but you say it first, right? Because he's Chinese.
Oh, okay. And then Torepchi Dogak? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Danial. Your boy's having a hard time with some of this pronunciation.
You killed it.
You know what I mean?
You killed it. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man.
You know who else killed it? Zhang. He is so talented.
What a segue.
Dude, he is so talented. This is one of the fights that I was telling people, like, hey, this is one of the ones to watch, because Zhang is like, he's 19 years old, I think. Yeah, 19 years old. And just so offensively, like, impressive. You know what I mean? Like, he just, it's go, vicious shots, like really good mechanics. I think people were kind of talking about how his defense looked a little suspect in this fight.
In the third.
I think, in the third.
In the third, specifically.
But do you really need good defense when you're fighting a punching bag at that point? And I mean that with no disrespect. Because the fight was competitive up until that third round. But in that third round, Dogak really didn't have anything to throw back at him. And I think if there was more coming back Zhang's way, then he would have been more defensively responsible. But he felt it in there that he didn't really need to be. Granted, that can get you knocked out, right, later on in your career. But I don't think that third round, his defense is an accurate portrayal of how his defense can be. And maybe he's 19 years old. Maybe you don't do that. And that's something you learn from. Like, hey, even though you're kind of having your way with somebody, you still got to stay sound. You still got to stay defensively responsible. And that's something that comes with mat time and learning, right? He's only 19 years old. But, dude, that's striking. That offense is so good. It's so good.
So in the first round, I was like, man, Will must be so excited right now, because Zhang Peimian was coming in with just a right hooks to the body.
Man.
But what concerned me a little bit when he was doing that is chin up.
Yeah.
And he'd step back, right? And I was like, dude, this guy's so fast. He's working the body. but then he was setting up that flying knee, because
Yeah.
then after a while, you see Dogak start ducking down a little bit when he'd come in with the body shot. So he came in, was like, "Bud," up flying knee, and cracked him. But then again, he started doing that the third, and that's when I think Dogak noticed, like, hey, this guy's coming in, blitzing a little bit with his chin straight up in the air, right? So he left himself open a couple shots, but still overall, I think Zhang Peimian,
he's an avalanche. Yeah, avalanche.
Great performance. Plus his hair, when he's boxing, weaving, his hair's like glowing everywhere he's going. I like it.
Yeah, right. Very excited to see what's left for him.
We're gonna skip.
Shout out Rich doing some research in the back, putting in the man hours. He says each yellow card is a successive. Yeah, is a successive 10% deduction according to when Colorado and ONE FC collaborated for an event with a global rule set. Yeah,
I like it.
Shout out, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Doing the research.
All right,
putting in the man hours.
We're skipping.
Last week he put liquid paper on a bee,
and it died. Step Brothers, dude. Anybody that hasn't watched Step Brothers, please go through and watch Step Brothers for us. It's a fantastic movie. All right,
so we're skipping Zikriv, right?
We're covering 2 more fights. Next one we're going to cover is Yamakita versus Silva.
Yeah, Keito Yamakita. This was the one that I was most right. I said the Zhang fight was something that everybody should be paying attention to, but this was the one I was looking forward to the most. Yeah, Keith says, I believe Will and I saw a double yellow one night on the one Discord. Yeah, that was a double yellow at one point, which is always bad. You don't want that. But Keito Yamakita making his debut, his ONE FC debut, against a former champ. And this guy he's got the complete package. And it's like, we just need to see him start to get tested a little bit to see like how legit. But he is so good. So good. And I was like, he's going to have to try to keep it standing, right? Alex Silva is really good on the ground. And I was like, he's going to have to defend the takedown, sprawl and brawl, basically. And the first thing he does is shoot like a flawless takedown and take him down in the fight. And I was like, dude, that's so smart because if this goes longer, that takedown that immediate takedown is going to make Alex Silva kind of guess, like, is this guy going to just take me down? Is that the game plan? Just keep taking me down, and it'll open up the striking even more than it would have already been open. But then he just puts a masterclass on in grappling. I mean, these guys were just going in such weird positions and scrambles where he almost gets sweat, but then he hooks something, and then now he's almost like a crucifix. And then, I mean, it was just so good. Such a cool back and forth fight.
Yes. Yamakita reminds me of one of my old coworkers by the name of Michael Tanimoto, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's smaller. He's got that boxy frame. When I would pat Tanimoto on the back, it felt like I was patting like brick, man. Just solid.
Really?
By the way, also black belt in judo. He's a sensei over here. Can kick my ass. Absolutely. But
dude, Yamakita, how about this? 5'1", nickname Pocket Monk.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I love it. But yes, so watching Yamakita, I was so impressed. And all the things you already said, so I'm not going to go through and say it again. But the one thing, so you have Silva that has him in a body train, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yamakita stands up, grabs an arm, and like just in a slick move, like moves arm over, drags down. So Silva slips out of the body triangle, and then he ends up on top.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that is so pretty, man. I hadn't seen that done yet in the circle, in the octagon, anywhere.
Yeah, and Alex Silva is really good at jiu-jitsu.
High level.
Really good. So to do something like that against someone that high level, I mean, this fight was so much fun to watch.
If your name is Alex Silva from Brazil, you're not just some guy.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
You know your jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great fight. Yamakita is for real. This is a big test for him in his career, and I'm very excited to see him back in there. I hope it's soon.
All right. Last fight we're going to cover from the fight night. Eddie Abasolo versus Niclas Larsen.
So Larsen, if you don't know about Larsen, his first fight in ONE FC was against Taiwan Chai. So, yeah, kind of thrown to the wolves there. He got knocked out, but there's no shame in that. Taiwan Chai is fucking elite. But this fight, going into it, one of the things that Larsen has always kind of had an issue with is his entries. And it looked like Abasolo knew that. because he was just very patient. And it was like, okay, Larsen at the start, Larsen was starting to land some points, right? Land some things. And then the first time he really committed to an entry, bah, gets hit with a piston. And I was like, oh, Abasolo knows his opponent. And from there, I mean, he just kept meeting him. They kept clashing. And eventually, like that elbow you showed was so brutal and it split him open and he's bleeding. And then the shot that put him away, I mean, he drops him and he takes a second and he's like, okay, I'm going to get back up, right? Because it's Muay Thai. So you get the 10 count or the 8 count or whatever the hell. It's 10 count. As he's getting up, was it Olivier Coste? That was
Olivier Coste.
Yeah.
The boss.
The boss. So he's going in like, all right, I'm gonna start counting. And as he gets up, he starts falling back and he's like, nope, this is it. That's it.
So you talk about the entry, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love how aggressive Larsen is. He has I'm just going to walk you down attitude and I'm going to run through whatever you have to throw my way. But sometimes that doesn't work, and okay. So he's walking in the very first exchange. I was like, this guy's just coming. Stiff jab, right? Like stiff jab. And before his hand comes in, the elbow's coming in and cuts him up right away. Like, pop, pop, like one right after another. So fast. And I was like, oh, boy, this is going to be a long night for Larsen. And then from there, what do you call those little toys that bounce off each other over and over again? They spin and then they hit each other and they bounce.
Oh,
and
Beyblades.
Yes. The blades, the Beyblades.
Yeah.
That's what it was like because they would separate and then come in and blah, 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 and then they'd separate. Yeah. And then over again.
It's like I always think of it like rams, like mountain rams. You know what I mean? Because they'll separate and they both get on two legs and then they separate.
Dude, but that's what it was like. But it ended up turning into we're both going first.
Yeah.
We're both going first. Let's see whose lands. But when you have a left hook coming in and Abasolo's coming in with a straight right, which one's going to land first?
Yeah. That's
right. And so you see, my God, it was so good, man. It was such an exciting fight. It was a fun fight. And I'm a huge Abasolo fan now.
Yeah. He's got no fat on it. You know what I mean? His straight, some people throw straights, but they're still kind of looping a little bit. No. These are from point A to point B. They're going straight through. And it's so fast.
Oh, man. Such a good night of fights Friday night.
It was.
Decent fight of night, Saturday night. It was a good weekend. My
weekend of fights.
My little guy had 2 baseball games and soccer game. Had to skip the soccer game because we picked baseball over soccer. And then my daughter had her cheer competition and just so much going on. So much going on.
It's a whirlwind.
Started catcher for his little 12U team, dude.
Ooh.
It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Nasty,
and then he complains like, my legs are sore. I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, okay, well.
I caught one game in Little League, and I was like, I'm never doing that again.
It was awesome, man. It was awesome. But overall, great weekend. Keith asked earlier, Will, when are you going to open up the floodgates to the Discord?
It's close. I'm just building a couple things in it. I got it finalized where there's a channel in there that will automatically send a message anytime someone is cut or added to the roster from the UFC. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, shout out Colleen. It's Colleen, right?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Mom.
Happy late birthday. It was her birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy late birthday. For real? Happy birthday.
Hey.
Hey, let's go.
But the Discord's coming. Discord's close. Merch is also very close. We just have to figure out. Right now, we're literally just figuring out shipping rates. Once the shipping rates get solved and we figure out how that works, then it's open. So it's close.
I love it. And then you also asked merch shop open yet?
Yeah, like I said, shipping rates. Once we get those figured out.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then shout out. Colleen says, "Oh, thanks." Yeah, happy birthday for sure. HLB Coma Romero, another champ with kid. Dude, everybody knows I love my kids, man. For sure.
Hey,
I try to make every sporting event. Every event, period.
Rodrigues, both of you.
Yeah, that's something we both have in common. Are we champs? I'm a former champ. By the way, Will.
Yeah, where's my belt, man?
Your belt is it's got the postage stamp on it on top and everything. It's right over here in the box. You know what? UPS is open tomorrow, my friend. I'll go drop it off tomorrow. Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Goes a long way. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.